For over 4 decades, economists around the world have asked, why was China the only country to achieve a super transformation, lifting 800 million people out of poverty and increasing per capita income 25-fold? According to John Ross, former director of economy and business policy for the Mayor of London, this was no coincidence. He sees it as the inevitable outcome of institutional strength, where national strategy and market vitality resonate together, turning the efforts of 1.4 billion people into a driving force that have reshaped the global economic landscape.
China is the biggest economic success in the history of the world. And I'm not saying that to be polite. I'm saying it because it's an objective fact. Never have you had economic growth which improved the lives of so many people so fast. Let's just take a few facts. In 1949, China was almost the poorest country in the world. The records show there were 10 countries, 8 in Africa and 2 in Asia, that were poorer than China. It was almost the poorest country in the world. World Bank's standard for high-income economies is about $14,000. China's on about $13,000 a year, so it's 2 years' time or something like that. But that means in just over 70 years, that is in a single lifetime, China can have gone from being almost the poorest country in the world to being a high-income economy. For 1.4 billion people, there has never been anything like that in the entire history of the world. In the last 500 years, there's only ever been 3 economic systems in the world. One was capitalism. That wasn't invented by anybody, but it was first analysed by Adam Smith and Karl Marx, right? The second one was the industrialisation of the Soviet Union in 1929, as introduced by Stalin. That is a totally planned economy. That wasn't planned, done by somebody. And the third one is the Chinese socialist market economy, and this has proved itself to be the most successful economic theory, economic development in the whole history of the world. It's an incredible intellectual achievement. As I say, there are only 3 such histories in the last 500 years, and China's got the most successful one.
Yet behind China's economic success lies the seed of rising tension. As China's GDP edges closer to that of the United States, Washington have launched its largest campaign of strategic competition since the Cold War. From cutting off cheap supplies to military drills in the South China Sea, from various sanctions to technological blockades, U.S. containment efforts have escalated sharply over the past 5 years. While countries around the world strive to revive their economies, this American-style containment has become an unexpected drag on global development.
The biggest obstacle to the development of international production is the United States. Why? Because the United States has a growth rate of about 2%, and it's been growing at the last 2% for the last 20, 30 years. And it doesn't want any other economy to grow faster than that. Any big economy, doesn't care if some very small economy grows fast, right? Because its way of competing is not that the US economy should grow more rapidly. I mean, let's say that the President of the United States decided, I'm going to make the US economy grow incredibly quickly. I can tell you that they would have to have a higher level of investment, they'd have to build a lot of infrastructure, they'd have to have less wasteful military spending, they'd have to have a less inefficient health service. I can make you a plan for doing it, right? Firstly, nobody could object to this, and secondly, anyway, nobody could do anything about it, even if they did object to it. So if the United States competes by speeding up its own economy, that's good for America, and incidentally, it will have good effects in the rest of the world. No, but the United States is trying to compete by preventing other people from growing faster, and that is damaging. But why should another country slow down to the pace of the United States? Because the United States wants to stay the most powerful country in the world, and therefore it slows. It's the biggest obstacle to the international development of production.
As global geopolitical rivalry intensifies, the question of whether China-US relations will edge toward a more dangerous brink is almost impossible to ignore. After the tariff wars, will the next crisis take the form of a real war?
The very dangerous thing is the one area in which the United States still possesses superiority is military. It is the most powerful military country in the world. And some people in the United States will decide that they have to settle the situation with China by military means. And that is a view within the US mainstream now. It's not a majority one, and I don't want to try to pretend it is. It's not even close to being a majority. It's 10 to 15% of American foreign policy analysts, military analysts, but 10 to 15% of the mainstream, not 10 to 15% of mad people on the fringe. You have people who write things saying how to provoke a conventional war around Taiwan. Now, one of the reasons that it's only 10 to 15% is a lot of people don't believe you provoke a war with China over Taiwan, and can you guarantee that this is going to stay a conventional war? No, and to give them their due, the majority of the American has that, no, we can't give any such guarantee, so we're not going down this road. So I think the world is going into a very dangerous 15 years, which really depends upon the strength of China, and not really the economic strength of China, the military strength of China.